From the lush Amazon rainforest to the dry shrublands of California, a terrifying enemy rages wildfire. These fires are not just isolated incidents. They are a global phenomenon affecting diverse ecosystems and communities. The Amazon, often referred to as the lungs of the earth, is being choked by flames, while California's picturesque landscapes are being transformed into charred wastelands. These infernos, once seasonal occurrences, are now a year-round threat, growing in intensity and frequency. Climate change has altered weather patterns, creating conditions that are ripe for wildfires. Prolonged droughts, higher temperatures, and stronger winds all contribute to the perfect storm for these devastating blazes. What was once a predictable season has now become an unpredictable and relentless cycle of destruction.
The sky, once a brilliant blue, is choked with smoke, painting a grim picture of a planet under siege. The air quality plummets, affecting not just those in the immediate vicinity, but also communities miles away. The smoke travels across borders, turning day into night and creating a hauntingly beautiful yet deadly haze that lingers for days, sometimes weeks. Homes are reduced to ashes, landscapes scarred, and lives lost. The emotional toll on families who have lost everything is immeasurable. Entire communities are displaced, forced to start over with nothing but the clothes on their backs. The economic impact is staggering, with billions of dollars in damages and years of recovery ahead. The once distant crackle of flames is now a deafening roar, a symphony of destruction echoing across continents. Firefighters battle tirelessly, risking their lives to contain the infernos, but the sheer scale and intensity of these fires often overwhelm even the most prepared teams. The sound of a wildfire is a haunting reminder of nature's fury, a relentless force that shows no mercy.
Animals flee in terror, their habitats engulfed in flames. The impact on wildlife is devastating, with countless animals perishing in the fires or suffering from severe burns and smoke inhalation. Those that survive face a bleak future, with their homes destroyed and food sources depleted. The loss of biodiversity is a silent tragedy, with some species pushed to the brink of extinction. The air, thick with smoke, stings the eyes and chokes the lungs, a constant reminder of the devastation unfolding. People are forced to wear masks, not just to protect against the virus, but to shield themselves from the toxic air. Hospitals see a surge in respiratory issues, and the long-term health effects of prolonged smoke exposure are still unknown.
The impact of these wildfires extends far beyond the immediate areas they consume. The economic, environmental, and social repercussions are felt globally. Supply chains are disrupted, tourism declines, and the cost of rebuilding is astronomical. The scars left on the land are visible from space, a stark reminder of the destruction wrought by these fires. Billions of tons of carbon dioxide are released into the atmosphere, further fueling the climate crisis. The carbon stored in forests is released in a matter of hours, undoing years of carbon sequestration. This creates a vicious cycle, where wildfires contribute to climate change, which in turn creates conditions that are more conducive to wildfires. The delicate balance of ecosystems is disrupted, pushing countless species towards the brink of extinction. The loss of flora and fauna has a cascading effect, impacting everything from pollination to water quality. The recovery of these ecosystems will take decades, if not centuries, and some may never fully recover. The world watches in horror as the planet burns. News footage and satellite images bring the reality of these fires into living rooms around the globe, but the true scale of the devastation is hard to comprehend. As we grapple with the immediate crisis, we must also look to the future and take urgent action to mitigate the factors driving these catastrophic wildfires.
While wildfires rage, another disaster unfolds: relentless floods. These two calamities, though seemingly opposite, are interconnected in the grand tapestry of climate change. As wildfires scorch the land, the atmosphere becomes laden with particles that can influence weather patterns, sometimes leading to increased rainfall in other regions. Coastal cities, once vibrant hubs of human activity, face an existential threat as sea levels rise at an alarming rate. The picturesque waterfronts and bustling harbors are now scenes of anxiety and preparation. Sandbags and temporary barriers have become common sights as communities brace for the next high tide that could breach their defenses. The ocean, once a source of life and livelihood, now threatens to reclaim what we hold dear. Coastal erosion is not just a slow creeping menace, it is a force that can dramatically alter landscapes overnight. Entire stretches of beach can disappear, and with them, the homes and businesses that once thrived there.
Rivers, swollen by unprecedented rainfall, burst their banks, inundating homes and businesses. The once gentle streams and rivers which provided water for agriculture and daily life have turned into torrents of destruction. The force of the water can uproot trees, wash away bridges, and carve new paths through the landscape. Entire communities are displaced, forced to flee the rising waters. Families pack what little they can carry, leaving behind homes filled with memories. Temporary shelters become crowded with those who have lost everything, and the sense of uncertainty about the future is palpable. The elderly and the vulnerable are left stranded, their lives hanging by a thread. Rescue operations become a race against time, as emergency services navigate treacherous waters to reach those in need. The scenes of elderly individuals being carried to safety are heart-wrenching, highlighting the human toll of these natural disasters. The water, once a symbol of life, now carries the stench of destruction and despair. Floodwaters are often contaminated with sewage, chemicals, and debris, posing serious health risks to those who come into contact with them. The cleanup process is arduous and dangerous, requiring specialized equipment and expertise.
The human cost of these floods is immeasurable. Beyond the immediate loss of life and property, there are long-term psychological impacts. Children who experience such traumatic events may carry the scars for years, affecting their development and mental health. Lives are lost, homes destroyed, and livelihoods shattered. The process of rebuilding is slow and fraught with challenges. Many families find that their insurance does not cover the full extent of the damage, leaving them to bear the financial burden alone. Community support becomes crucial as neighbors band together to help each other recover. The economic impact is staggering, with billions of dollars in damages and lost productivity. Businesses that rely on foot traffic or local customers may never reopen, and the loss of jobs can have a ripple effect throughout the community. Infrastructure, such as roads and bridges, requires extensive repairs, further straining public resources. As the waters recede, they leave behind a trail of devastation. A stark reminder of the power of nature unleashed. The landscape is often unrecognizable, with debris scattered everywhere and the ground saturated with water. The environmental impact can be severe, affecting local wildlife and ecosystems for years to come.
The frequency and intensity of these floods are a clear indication of a changing climate. Scientists warn that what we are witnessing now is just the beginning. As global temperatures continue to rise, the conditions that lead to such extreme weather events will become more common. Warmer temperatures lead to increased evaporation, resulting in heavier rainfall. This creates a vicious cycle where more water in the atmosphere leads to more intense storms and flooding. Urban areas with their concrete surfaces are particularly vulnerable, as the water has nowhere to go. As sea levels continue to rise, the threat of coastal flooding will only intensify, putting millions at risk. Coastal defenses, such as seawalls and levees, may provide some protection, but they are not foolproof. Long-term solutions will require a combination of engineering, policy changes, and community resilience. Communities around the world are beginning to take action. Local governments are investing in flood prevention measures, and scientists are working tirelessly to understand the impacts of climate change. Public awareness campaigns are educating people about the risks and what they can do to protect themselves. Transitioning to renewable energy sources and adopting sustainable practices are crucial steps in mitigating the effects of climate change. Green infrastructure projects, such as the creation of wetlands and the restoration of natural floodplains, can help absorb excess water and reduce the impact of floods. Every small action counts. Planting trees, creating community gardens, and developing urban green spaces can all contribute to a more resilient environment. These efforts not only help manage water, but also improve the quality of life for residents. Despite the challenges, there is hope. Communities are coming together, rebuilding stronger and more resilient than before. The spirit of human resilience shines through, as people adapt and find ways to thrive in the face of adversity. Global cooperation is essential. International climate agreements and the commitment of world leaders to take meaningful action are critical in addressing the root causes of these disasters. By working together, we can create a safer, more sustainable future for all. The rising tide of floods is a wake-up call. It is a reminder that we must act now to protect our planet and ensure a brighter future for generations to come. Through collective effort and unwavering determination, we can turn the tide and build a world where both people and nature thrive.
The sun, once a source of warmth and life, now beats down with relentless fury. Its rays, which once nurtured the earth, now scorch it, turning fertile lands into barren deserts. Heat waves, once rare occurrences, are becoming the new normal, baking cities and scorching landscapes. These intense heat events are no longer anomalies but regular features of our climate, affecting millions of people worldwide. Temperatures soar to unprecedented heights, shattering records and pushing human endurance to the limit. The mercury climbs higher each year, leaving us to wonder how much more we can endure.
The air hangs heavy, thick with humidity, making each breath a struggle. The oppressive heat saps energy, leaving people lethargic and desperate for relief. Streets are deserted as people seek refuge indoors, hiding from the oppressive heat. Air conditioners and fans become lifelines, but not everyone has access to these luxuries. The elderly, the young, and the vulnerable suffer the most, succumbing to heat stroke and exhaustion. Hospitals fill with patients and emergency services are stretched to their limits. The world outside becomes a furnace, a testament to the changing climate. Buildings and infrastructure are not designed to withstand such extreme conditions, leading to power outages and system failures.
The impact of these heat waves extends beyond human health. Agriculture, the backbone of our food supply, is hit hard. Crops wither and die in the fields, threatening food security. Farmers face devastating losses, and the prices of staple foods skyrocket, affecting the most vulnerable populations. Water sources dry up, leading to drought and conflict. Rivers and lakes shrink, and communities are left without reliable access to water, sparking tensions and competition for this precious resource. Wildfires ignite with terrifying ease, fueled by the tinder-dry vegetation. These fires spread rapidly, destroying homes, habitats, and lives, and leaving behind a trail of devastation. The planet groans under the strain of extreme heat. Ecosystems are pushed to the brink, and species struggle to survive in the altered climate.
These heat waves are a stark reminder of the urgency of the climate crisis. They serve as a wake-up call, highlighting the need for immediate and sustained action to mitigate the effects of global warming. As greenhouse gas emissions continue to rise, temperatures will continue to climb, pushing the planet closer to a tipping point. The consequences of inaction are dire, with more frequent and severe heat waves, rising sea levels, and extreme weather events. The time for action is now, before it's too late. Governments, businesses, and individuals must come together to reduce emissions, invest in renewable energy, and protect our planet for future generations. The choices we make today will determine the world we leave behind.